We have the NFC Championship game upon us, and it is the Commanders heading to Philly for the third time to play the Eagles this season. They're going to know each other's ins and outs, and these are my keys to the game. Number one for the Commanders, limit Saquon Barkley. The past two times these teams have met up this season, they've allowed Barkley to accumulate over 150 scrimmage yards in both games. That is not a way to win. If they do it again this time and they allow him to get over 150 yards, I don't think it's going to be very easy for them to win this game. They need to limit him to under or around 100 yards this game. Number two, they need to stay aggressive on fourth down. The Commanders, that's been their song all year, is going for it on fourth down, no matter the distance. They've converted the most in the NFL, and I expect that to happen here again on Sunday. They've been extremely consistent with it, and I don't think Dan Quinn switches it up here just because it's a championship game. That's their identity. It's being aggressive. They're a fourth down team. They're going to do it, and they need to if they want to win this game against the Eagles. Moving on to the third one, this is one of my most important keys, is bend but don't break on defense. Force the Eagles to kick field goals, as Jake Elliott has been extremely shaky this season, and we've seen it time and time again. If you're going to force him to a field goal, you have a good shot of him missing it if it's a longer one. You need to do that. Number four, limit turnovers. I mean, the last two meetups between these teams have been turnover city. It's been 5+ turnovers in both games that they've played this season. They can't do that in such a big game. They can if they want to win. Number five, keep the Eagles out of 3rd and 4th and 1 because the tush push will come and they're going to get it. They have the two biggest quads on the team and Saquon and Jalen Hurts. They're going to get it every single time. Do not allow that to happen. Moving on to 6, force Jalen Hurts to run and throw on the run. Throughout his career, he's not been very good with decision-making in these situations, and his accuracy is heavily altered when he's on the run. He's also going to be in a leg brace this Sunday because of his injury that he sustained. So, getting him to force himself to run is what they need to do. Moving on to number 7, get Terry McLaurin and De'Ami Brown involved. These are their two big shot guys. They need to take advantage of that secondary against the Eagles as they have the last two times. They need to get them involved early if they want to have a dual threat offense this Sunday. Moving on to the Eagles. Stops on 3rd and 4th down. That is extremely important because the last two times these teams have met up, they just couldn't stop the Commanders on 3rd and 4th down. The Commanders were converting and converting and converting, and you can't let them do that because they're going to get points every drive if you let them do that. Number 2, get Washington into 3rd and 4th and long. If you want them to punt, get them into 4th and 10 and 4th and 15. That is how you will get the ball back. You cannot get them into 4th and short because they will go for it. Number 3, and this is probably the most important for the Eagles, is get A.J. Brown and Saquon involved early. The last two times these teams have met up, these two have been decently involved, specifically Saquon Barkley, but A.J. Brown has got his filling too, getting at least 50 yards on both of their matchups this season. If they can get these two to at least 200 scrimmage yards combined, I believe they have a very clear path to victory this Sunday. Moving on, limit turnovers. Just like the Commanders, both these teams have been turning the ball over like it's nothing in both of these games. Interceptions, fumbles, name it, missed field goals. You can't do it in this game. Too big of stakes here, and it's not going to fly. Number 5, do not let Jaden Daniels get out of the pocket. We've seen it. Jaden Daniels is a massive threat, and when he gets out of the pocket, you're in danger. We've seen it at LSU. We've seen it this year in Washington. He will hurt you either with his legs or with the many, many targets he has on offense. Keep him in the pocket. Number 6, Darius Slay and Terry McLaurin. This is going to be a massive matchup this Sunday. The Eagles defense have done a terrific job in restraining Terry McLaurin, and in their first matchup, McLaurin only had 2 receptions, or sorry, 2 targets and 1 reception for 10 yards. That's pretty good for a star receiver like McLaurin. You need to limit him like that if you want to win. And finally, make your field goals and extra points. Jake Elliott has been leaving so many points on the field because he just cannot make his field goals or extra points. He did decent against the Rams in their snow game. He made 2 pretty big field goals near the end, but he did miss the extra point, which almost cost him at the end of the game. He cannot be missing easy points or even difficult points. He's got to be that surefire kicker that he has been over the years if they want to win. With that being said, I have the Eagles winning this one 34-31.